The price of Solana, altcoins in general, and Ethereum is starting to go back up. Solana back above $200. The market is looking pretty perky today, and I like to see it. Now, whether or not you're a Solana bull like me, you're an Ethereum bull, or you're a Bitcoin bull, I think that it's going to be a pretty good week next week for all of us. But sir, what does a pretty good week entail? We're about to make a lot of money. That's what it means. And how can I do that? Just subscribe. We use the stock market a lot to predict what is going to happen in the crypto market, because when you've got confidence in stocks, you have confidence in crypto. And at the moment, it really looks like the stock market is about to make another punch to the upside. It's earnings season again, which means there's going to be some pretty big fluctuations. But more importantly than anything else, the Fed rate tracker updated today, and it's really good news. There is only 15 days to go until the next Fed meeting, and the numbers are back on the rise. Yesterday it read 87%, and today it reads 89.7% chance of a 0.25 rate reduction. What does that mean for crypto? Well, we've been watching Bitcoin decline through this Fibonacci retracement recently, and if the Fed is going to start cutting rates, this chart is going to start looking a lot differently. I believe what we're starting to see now is the rate reduction starting to price itself in, and it kind of seems like we're getting that 0.618 bounce. A break of $111,000, as I've pointed out in previous videos, is going to start yielding some serious pumpage, and all that we need to happen now is this particular chart starts dropping. And at the moment that this chart starts dropping is when Bitcoin is going to make a new all-time high. What is this chart? It's the US dollar currency index, and as you can see, the US dollar has been losing a lot of value this year against other currencies. Why is this happening? Tariffs generally, and also inflation, and all of these other different economic factors all add up to mean that the US dollar is decreasing in value, because this chart here is sensing a rate cut. And if they cut rates, it makes borrowing cheaper, which decreases the value of US dollars by increasing the circulation of US dollars, decreasing its value against other currencies. The trend recently has been down, but if we zoom out massively on this chart here and go to the weekly chart, I'm able to show you that generally when it starts going down, it goes down very significantly. So this is 2002 through to 2008. During very good, very bullish periods of time, we tend to see significant drop off in the value of currencies like the dollar, because they make lending cheap. And when you make lending cheap, you decrease value of currency. I really pray that this really drops, because previously on the DXY, like it's an episode of what's it, Trod McClure? What's he called? That Troy McClure.
Hello, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me
from The Simpsons. Bull market begins back in 2016. Bull market ended in 2018. Bull market begins in 2020. Bull market ends in 2021. Bull market begins when Bitcoin's down at $14,000, and this chart is up here at 114. And right now, the bull market isn't ending, but that's where it just gets kind of that stop off midway through a bull market where prices stagnate a little bit, and then you get the next push to the upside. That push is going to happen, and it's going to happen really quick. I'm going to explain in a moment whether or not we still have danger to face on the price of Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Solana, but just before I do that, we need to discuss today's crypto news, because Bitcoin clings to $109,000 as whales have rotated Ethereum, and UK bonds are spiking. We're also going to discuss altcoins in today's video, so make sure you slap that subscribe button and drop a like on this video. Let's try and get 1,000 likes. I know it's unlikely, but just press the button and then we can see if it's possible. If we hit 1,000 likes, I'll give away $10,000 in tomorrow's video to one random commenter in today's video. And I'm not joking, I'll do it. Now, the reason I brought up this article here is because of the reference to rotating to Ethereum, because I actually believe that the Ethereum rotation has ended, and I believe that Solana is the better play. I'll go on to explain more about that in today's analysis. Moving on though, Binance launched Mexico entity Maida and plans a $53 million investment. The reason I brought this up is because it shows that Binance is continually plowing through all these different regions, and the reason they're investing $53 million is not because they're intending on losing it. They're not going to lose it. They'll make money on that, and that means crypto is about to go big in Mexico, I suppose. Trump's project floats token burning as WLFI dips 30% after launch. I wouldn't worry too much about the dip, but I'm getting a lot of questions about World Liberty Financial at the moment. And my answer to your question of should I buy WLFI is I'm not qualified to tell you that because I don't have a qualification that gives me the ability to give you financial advice, but I'm not buying any WLFI because I don't buy new tokens. Any token that's within 3 months of its launch that isn't properly distributed, that has still got a bunch of pre-sale supply, all with whales that are sat on these bags ready to dump them, I'm just not game for that. So regardless of whether it's a good time or a bad time to buy it, I'm not playing that game. I feel like it's far too politically tied for it to be stable enough for me to be wanting to invest into it. As I said in the previous day's altcoin video, which by the way, if you've not seen it, click the link at the top of this one. If you've seen that video, I go on to explain about why we're picking financial assets that are tied with exchanges in this bull market, because exchanges are the businesses that make predominantly the most money. They do a lot of token burning, they do a lot of buybacks, that kind of situation. I like tokens like that because I've made millions of dollars investing thousands of dollars on them over the past few years. You got to remember, Trump makes $5 billion in a day on the launch of that coin. That's a lot of money to make in a day. So yeah, we'll see how well it goes. If it goes as well as Trump coin, to be fair, Trump coin still held up pretty well. I don't think anything bad will happen. It's just like if you're going to hold it 4 years, like Trump's not going to be in office 4 years time, you'll probably forget to sell it, and so you'll miss the good opportunity to get out at a good price. There's just too much politics in this token for me. And speaking of politics, we got to discuss politics because politics and finance are very much intertwined, and Trump has been weighing in again, declaring national housing emergency this time, saying that there isn't enough houses and the house prices are rocketing, and so we should make cheaper borrowing to make it so people can afford mortgages, which would again cause housing prices to increase even faster, which wouldn't really fix inflation. If anything, it would add to it. So I don't know what kind of the point of this is, other than to say we need to invest a lot of money into building. And from my understanding, the way it's working in America at the moment is they're going out on these big belts like Greenbelt. You know what Greenbelt is if you're from England. They're building on Greenbelt basically, but they're building these giant like villa complexes with like 2,000 villas in like a field. They're incredible what they're building, but they are building them all out of wood again. So if there is a tornado or something like that, all gone. AI data centers and 3 other areas are being targeted by the Trump administration right now in order to take government investment into these companies. If you can figure out these companies beforehand, the prices of their stocks will pump significantly during their investment process. But it's very interesting to see this, because this is nationalism. This is socialism. This is the government taking shares in public companies, creating government companies that the public has a share in, essentially, meaning that this is a very left-wing policy, and it's very surprising to see. And while it's all kicking off in crypto, it's also kicking off in the White House right now because of this. This is Modi, the Prime Minister of India. He has been hugging and making very good acquaintances with Putin and President Xi of China. Now, India is meant to be playing good because Trump has put a 50% tariff on India for continually buying Russian oil. This whole situation has made Trump a bit angry, and he's called their trade relationship with India a disaster because India are not really caring that much about the tariff situation. Totally one-sided disaster. You can imagine his reaction, not so positive. Now, India recently have actually offered to cut their tariffs to nothing, according to Trump. He says they should have done so years ago. But it's interesting because America still has a 50% tariff and will not get rid of that 50% tariff on India until India stops buying Russian oil, and they won't stop buying Russian oil, so I can't see this situation ending soon. It'll just continue dragging on. And speaking of things dragging on, the tariffs are going through US Supreme Court at the moment, and even if the Supreme Court did call the tariffs illegal, they would still not have to get rid of the tariffs. They could still leave them because Trump is king. Outside of Russia, in Europe, a German company called Rheinmetall is saying that, I mean, bear in mind, Rheinmetall was absolutely tiny like 12 months ago, and it's received so many billions of dollars from the German government, who put together a $600 billion investment into ammunition, that Rheinmetall stock's straight lining to the moon, and it's been doing nothing but all year. I actually bought some Rheinmetall. I made a video about it very much at the start of this year on a stream. I was talking about stocks that we should buy. I was like, Rheinmetall looks good. I just wish I'd have bought more. But these guys are egging on the Europeans to spend more money on ammunitions to go fire more bullets at Russia. Tesla is getting absolutely slodgered right now by the Chinese because BYD is wiping the floor with Tesla at the moment, and they've dropped 40% in Europe in terms of their sales. And most shockingly of all, Tesla's stock doing pretty fine. To be fair, looks like a buy, looks bullish, looks very good. It's just incredible, is Tesla, the way that the stock is not correlated to the income of the business. And one more piece of political news in America, something that we've not talked about in a while, Greenland. Greenland is getting a bit nervous because of the Americans that want it to be the 51st state, along with the 52nd state, Canada. That whole thing went quiet for a while, but I do get the feeling in the next week or so, it's going to pop back up with vengeance, and Greenland is going to become a hot talking topic because Trump is got to improve these approval ratings. Denmark is getting all nervous as well. That's why they've summoned the US top diplomats to come and discuss the situation there, because it could end up with Denmark being at war with America. So what does all of this mean for crypto? Well, my perspective is we actually have quite a lot of good news on the horizon here. A lot of peace could be about to happen. A lot of positive improvements in the stock market in terms of earnings are about to happen. Bitcoin's price is about $12,000 off its all-time high, currently $110,000. It's completed a 0.618 retrace, which again is very good news. Looking over at Ethereum, again, looks good. We got dropped out of this range the other day, bounced straight back up into it. We're currently verging on a breakout. And for Solana, much the same, an amazing bounce up from 194 to 202. As for the $10,000 to $100,000 trading challenge, I actually posted a trade overnight that I posted into the Discord group, and that trade is now currently $2,200 in a profit. The pump trade is now $12,000 in a profit, and the Fartcoin trade, having been $8,000 in a loss, is now $6,000 in a loss. And that means if we check on the $10,000 to $100,000 trading challenge right now, and we go over to the futures account, we have a total balance of $43,842. We've managed to go very significantly good in the past 24 hours, to be fair. 34% increase. Now, I will get to $1 million. I am determined to get to $1 million. And if you want to join this $10,000 to $1 million trading challenge, all you have to do, click the link for Crypto Saving Expert in today's video description. When you've clicked the link, sign up, make an account. Go onto this section here. Make sure you're selecting the monthly plan and use the code 50OFF. You'll find it in today's video description for 50% off this price, making it £50 a month. Now, within the Discord for Crypto Saving Expert is where I post all of my trades, but you also get access to thousands and thousands of hours of courses on the website, whether it be development, whether it be how to get a job in crypto, how to quit your normal job. There's so much information, all from beginner to university level. It is good for everyone, even if you think you know everything. And if you want free access to Crypto Saving Expert, all I ask you to do, leave a comment whether you're bullish or bearish in today's comment section, because once every week I pick a winner for a 1-year membership that's worth £780. Just like I'm going to do right now from the video that I posted last night. And if we look through this video, I'm going to pick one random comment. As I'm scrolling down, I'm going to pick Bruce here. Bruce, you win 1 year's free Crypto Saving Expert membership. Just send me a message on Twitter. I think you comment on most of my videos anyway, so just leave a comment with how I can get to you if you don't have a Twitter account, or send me a message on Twitter. It might take a couple of days for you to get in touch because I might miss your message, so just be patient. But back to the charts here. Now we've covered off all of that, we have two more important charts, and then it's time to analyze using technical analysis. We can see here on Bitcoin, we built up a huge level of liquidation here that we never actually triggered, which could be a bit of a magnet if we do start heading down to the downside aggressively today. But it looks like we've got so many liquidations up here above $114,000. As soon as we're above $111,000, it should just chug to the upside, and there shouldn't be really any downside, and the whole market should pump. The same right now could be said for Ethereum. You can see up here massive billions of dollars getting liquidated up at $4,544. No, I wish it was the other one. My point is, there's some big numbers that are above where we are right now that look pretty juicy. We look like we're about to get magnetized to the upside. So let's have a look. Bitcoin here on the 12-hour. This is the full Fibonacci retracement. We came down, we tested 0.618. We are bouncing back to the upside. Very good news. If we lose 0.618, the new target becomes $103,000. That'll be pretty unpleasant, will that one? And then the inevitable full retracement is going to be down to $98,000, but I don't really think that one is as likely as perhaps maybe $103,000 could be. Because you see here at the side of the screen, this is called the VRVP. It's the volume range volume profile. And what you can see here is where the liquidity is in the order book. And you can see that we've got a massive spike of liquidity up here at $118,000. And we're about to drop out of this range here where there is very little liquidity between here and $118,000. We could end up with an $8,000 pump on the price of Bitcoin today. No one would see it coming. No one would expect it, and that's exactly why it's quite likely. Now to check on support and resistance levels, you can see here that we came down, we retested this level of support, give or take a little bit, but we did retest that level of support, which is pretty good news, and we are encroaching back on, breaking back into the previous trading range, which is sitting here. I would say at a bare minimum, I expect Bitcoin to get to $112,000 on this run. At $112,000, fair enough, we might get rejected and turn back around, but it is really looking like it's going to get up to about $112,000 in the next 24 hours. For Ethereum looks kind of cooked in a sense of how quickly it's bounced back to the upside, and the quick bounces back don't tend to last that long without some kind of small retracement in between, but when they do last and they do hold, they do tend to be the start of the next leg to the upside, and I'm pretty optimistic. The level on Ethereum that Ethereum needs to break is $4,420. We break through $4,420 today, the thing's going to rally and it'll go back up to all-time highs within 24 hours. I'm very confident about that. One of the main reasons that makes me so confident on Ethereum right now is the fact that Ethereum versus Bitcoin is actually starting to bounce. And again, up here, you can see we've got a massive range of liquidity up at this level, whereas we just don't have it down here, and we've got a bit of a gap in between. If Ethereum shoots all the way back up to here on its own versus Bitcoin, that is going to be a price increase of 3.99%. Now, factoring in that Bitcoin at the same period of time would probably increase around 2%, that would give around a 6% price increase on the price of Ethereum. And if we're to measure a 6% price increase from where we are right now on the price of Ethereum, 6% is going to take Ethereum to $4,662, which gives us a pretty nice price target, to be honest, because that would be the top of the previous range. You see the top of the previous range is there. We would come up, we would at least retest that before getting a rejection, or perhaps, hopefully, a break back to the upside. When it comes to Solana as well, literally at a very key level of resistance right now, but if it can break through this key level of resistance, which is sitting at $204, it'll run all the way back up, and Solana, out of all of them, will run harder, it will run faster, and it will be more aggressive and more pumpy than pretty much anything. Solana, on its run back up, is doing $300 plus on the next pump. I'm telling you now, it's going to be a really good one. It's why, if you've not watched it yet, you should watch my video that I made the other day about altcoins, because we talk about why Solana is such a good buy right now. We talk about why SWISSBORG is such a good buy right now. We talk about why WEEX token will just continually pump throughout this whole bull market, and why it doesn't ever go down, because WEEX token doesn't go down. So if you want to see that video, click in the top corner right now. Honestly, you won't regret it. Also, subscribe. WEEX is a great exchange, by the way. You should definitely check it out. You'll find a link for it in today's video description. I've got a small Solana trade open here that's been open for a while now. I'm just waiting for this one to clear off because it will run, and ultimately, I'm not going to get liquidated on it. My liquidation price is $172. It's only a tiny trade. I've got like 10K in the account here, and I'm just trying to run a side account up to $1 million as well. Why not? I like to put 10K in an account and see how close to $1 million I can get. And generally, we've been pretty successful at it. But you can trade with 0 KYC on WEEX. You literally just need to click the link and sign up, make an account. And if you want a tutorial on how to trade on WEEX, click on the video at the top of today's screen right now. Now, the final piece of Bitcoin analysis that I wanted to show you today is that Stonksy is opening long positions on the slightly higher time frames right now, such as the 15 minutes on the price of Bitcoin. What is Stonksy? It's one of the world's most accurate tools at predicting the price action for anything on Earth. It can predict literally anything, and it's got a very high rate of accuracy. Right now, Stonksy is predicting the price of if Bitcoin is going to head back to the upside. It also just fired off a very important green arrow here on Solana, which shows us that we've got some confirmation if we want to start considering opening a position. And by the way, guys, if you actually want to get Stonksy, you can do. You'll find a link for it in today's video description. It's a product that I invested so much money and time and everything making. We employed the best data scientists across the world to make Stonksy, and it is an amazing application. So if you want to get it, get it. Link in the video description. And if you want some reviews of it, type in Stonksy on YouTube. There's a whole YouTube channel about it. We also collated a bunch of reviews of it recently that you'll find in a video. But on that note, guys, I am incredibly bullish. I think the market is about to give us Valhalla again, and I think the prices of everything are going to go whoomph, and it's going to be amazing. So if you want to make money, press the like button. And I actually do genuinely wonder, can we even get 1,000 likes on a video anymore? I don't know, we'll see. But I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have done, drop a like on it. Check out links and information in today's video description, and I will see you in the next one. Deuces.